All right, today we're going to be checking out this new plugin from Overloud called EQP. As you could probably tell from the picture, it is a passive Pultec style equalizer. It's pretty obvious to see that. Now, what's cool about this one is it has a couple characteristics that some of the other ones don't have. You have all the different kinds of Pultecs that were created by Pulsar, which was the group that invented these. And so you have this is the normal Pultec that we all know and love. And so you have the boost and the attenuation in the low end, then the boost and attenuation in the highs with your bandwidth here, and then attenuation here. Now what's added here, and you can get these in other plugins, but you have the high cut and the low cut down here, and then this mid section with a couple different peaks and one dip. So cool to have it all in one place. Another feature that you don't see on some of the other Pultecs is it has the little graphic equalizer thing that shows you what you're boosting and attenuating. And as many of us know, there's the old boost and attenuate trick that the Pultec does great on drums and kicks in particular. And so you can actually see this in a graphic form. I don't know if that's helpful for you to not. Sometimes I think seeing what we're mixing isn't very helpful to us for what we're supposed to be doing, which is listening. But it is cool to have. I kind of wish that they had it so that you could like turn it off if you didn't want to see it, but it's there. Input and output, and what's dope is you can link the input and output if you need to drive it a little harder. And another feature that's not on many Pultecs at all is this clipper section. And it's nice because sometimes you got drums or percussion or very transient things, and you can clip them a bit to get them a little rounder and thicker and maybe not cut through your mix bus so much. So I've kind of dig the clipper, and I've added it for the few times I've used this. So let's get into some examples. We're gonna play some drums and just kind of EQ a bit so you guys can hear what this thing can do. And then maybe we'll get into comparing it to another Pultec like the UAD one, which is a classic Pultec that everyone probably either has or has heard before. Now, as you can see, the red light's going on. That means the clipper's hidden. So let's turn the clipper on so you guys can hear what it's really doing. So you see the EQ. It's basically like a classic good starter drum EQ on a Pultec. Sounds pretty good. Let's put the clipper on. So obviously you can get really crunchy. Probably not something you want to do. Let's dial it back a bit and just get a little bit to see if we can just trim down these transients a touch. So that sounds pretty good. Let's check it out on guitars. So a lot of different, having all the EQs together is cool. You can kind of tweak with it a lot. It's really pretty impressive how twisting all the different bands can just interact with each other on these. It's kind of cool and maybe different than what you would normally have. The only thing I don't like is I'm watching it happen. I'd rather just be hearing it. And so once again, like the graphic thing is cool, and for a while I like having that to see what the Pultec's doing. But once again, I just wish I could get rid of it. All right, so let's compare this to the UAD on just the guitars. And we're gonna do something really simple. We'll just do a 3K boost at 5 dB. And then let's pull up the UAD and do a 3 dB boost of 5K. Now let's do the bandwidth broad, 10, and make sure we're 10 here. 10, cool. All right, let's check it out. So if you don't know Pro Tools, when it's gray, that means it's active. When it's blue, it's inactive. So you guys know which one I'm bypassing. Okay, so to me, the EQP sounds a little bit thicker, and the gem sounds a little bit brighter. Now, that could be just because of the way these things are made and the way they were sampled from the different ones, but I want to check the EQ curve on both of these and see if we're not getting tricked by something else. Let's bypass both of these, and then here's the EQ curve. So first, here's the gem EQ, and so okay, here's 0. So it dips down a little bit in the low end, which is interesting. And I think it even does that. Let's see. Let's see if it's flat. All right, here's flat. So even with everything at 0, this thing still has a little bit of a curve to it. But there's the boost, and then it's peaking at around 4 dB, right? I mean, 4 dB, a little over 4 dB at the 3K mark. Now, let's pull up the EQP, and there's quite a difference in the thing. Now, here's another thing to notice is the level's louder on this thing. Classic UAD trick to make everything louder so it sounds better. All right, so there, now the bottom end is at 0, just like the other one, basically. But this curve's like a lot smoother, you know what I mean? This one's a little bit, it's got this dip here, and I don't know if that's making my eyes think that it's higher here, but yeah, it's definitely lower. See, there's the 4 dB. It's not even there yet. So maybe, and it doesn't mean one's better than the other, but maybe this needs to be boosted a bit more in order for them to be closer together. Now that looks a lot closer to me. The only thing is this isn't doing the low end dip, but I think that's just kind of part of the sound of the EQP. So let's take a listen to these two. Now that we kind of got them, you know, eyeballed, matched, let's see what it sounds like with both of them at the same thing. We'll do the gem first. So now they sound pretty damn close together. You know, you could go with either one. Maybe this is the Pultec's, the UAD is just a little thicker, but that's very well could be that little dip we're getting in the low end, and that's what we're hearing. They both sound pretty much the same, and both have that kind of Pultec sound, so you could go with either one. So at the end of the video, we got to answer the question, is it worth it? Well, I think it's worth it if you're looking for a new Pultec. You know, we all have tons of Pultecs, and they all kind of sound the same. They'll have differences, and some things are different, but this one has the advantage of being all the Pultecs in one. If you like graphic EQs where you can see what you're doing, that's a huge plus with this one. I don't think any other Pultec has it. And honestly, the clip feature I think is pretty cool to have on this Pultec. So yeah, if you need a new Pultec and you don't have the other ones, or you don't want to carry the UAD card around just to use a Pultec, this could be a great option for you. So make sure to check it out. Overloud making some great stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you need your songs mixed and mastered, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. Talk to you soon.